Okay, it is 20:34, so 8 p.m. We're gonna...
There goes my cell phone. Hello?
Hi, Nancy. It's Mrs. Petrov. How is everything? Have you seen Linda yet?
Literally speaking, no, but I did talk to her. Not that she told me anything.
I'm just about at my wit's end. I've never known her to act like this. The last doctor that examined her said that aside from a little dry skin, which is not unusual for her, she was perfectly fine.
Why is she hiding behind that curtain?
I have no idea. When I was out there last week, I got fed up and pulled the curtain back. She threw a fit, but otherwise she looked absolutely normal. A little pale, perhaps, but who wouldn't be pale, cooped up like that? Something has changed her. Something in that house. Hugh is just as bewildered and upset by her behavior as I am. Please get to the bottom of this, Nancy. You're our last hope.
Okay. Where is
Hugh?
He was called to Rome. As a diplomat, he's always being called out of the country without warning and without any say in the matter. He'd much rather be there with Linda, although...
Although what?
It's just that Hugh said it hasn't been very easy for him to talk to her lately. Whenever he calls, which is at least once a day, Linda always seems to fly off the handle for no reason, which doesn't make sense. Linda has always been extremely level-headed and even-tempered. She never gets angry. At least she didn't used to.
Who exactly is Mrs. Drake?
She's Hugh's aunt. She's taken care of Blackmoor Manor ever since her brother died. He was Hugh's father. She's a bit of a character.
I noticed.
The way she spends all her time in that conservatory, slouching around, trowel in hand, murmuring to herself. You'd think she was burying something. Or somebody.
Exactly.
Goodbye, Mrs. Petrov.
Goodbye, Nancy. Oh, one more thing. My niece is on call and her husband's out of town, and I told her I'd go over there and babysit if she had to work. So if you call and I don't answer, that's why. Bye.
Alright. There is a thing. I'm guessing I have new internet searches. Yeah, Roman numerals. At a glance, I know how to do Roman numerals, sort of. It's fine. Let's call... Oh, let's go in my room and call that guy. Okay.
This is Paliki.
Hi, my name is Nancy Drew. Could I ask you some questions about lycanthropy?
I'm sorry, I'm about to leave for a seminar and I'm very busy. Besides, I've written 2 books and 12 articles on the subject. If you have questions, perhaps you should try reading one of them.
I did. That's how I got your number.
Well, if you didn't understand something, I'm afraid I really don't have time to explain it to you.
I understood everything. It's just that I know someone who seems to be exhibiting some of the symptoms of lycanthropic
Lycanthropic metamorphosis? Well, that's different. Talk to me.
What do you consider to be the definitive signs that someone is turning into some kind of animal?
Symptoms are relatively subtle. A dry mouth, fatigue, impaired vision, and reduced blood flow to the skin. Is this person pale?
Her mother said she was pale, so yes.
Yes, but the really disturbing thing is, she won't let anyone see her. She just lies in bed all day behind this curtain.
And at night, what does she do at night?
I can't be sure, but I do know that I saw something outside the night I arrived. Some kind of animal. And when I asked to see my friend, I was told she was unavailable.
This sounds very promising.
You don't really believe she's turning into some kind of creature, do you?
Young lady, I believe the human mind is capable of far more than we can ever imagine. Pale skin, dry mouth, fatigue. The human mind is perfectly capable of causing the body to exhibit such symptoms, if it is so motivated.
What would motivate someone to turn into an animal?
Most lycanthropes are under a great deal of stress, due perhaps to the death of a loved one, marriage, divorce, a relocation, that sort of thing. They're emotionally vulnerable, which means they're particularly open to the power of suggestion.
Someone suggests they become a lycanthrope?
Not in so many words, of course. Somehow they get it in their head that they're destined to take another form. They see something, they read something, someone says something to them. Somehow they come to believe they're supposed to undergo a physical metamorphosis, and so, in their weakened psychological state, they do.
So the lady in black.
Are temper tantrums symptomatic of lycanthropy?
There are no hard and fast rules when it comes to lycanthropy, or almost anything else for that matter. But if someone believes that what they're changing into is irrational, or has a bad temper, then they will exhibit irrational, ill-tempered behavior, especially if this is contrary to their former nature.
So she's turning into a werewolf, is what you're saying. Or a wolf, kind of. She's changing.
Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Wait, what time is it? 8. What do we have? Okay. So take a look at her coat of arms. It might help me figure out how to open that weird little box in my room. Hold on, go back. Go down. Talk to Linda ASAP. Check.
That's done.
Saw Nigel.
I'm finished with that.
Talk to Jane.
Check. I haven't done that
Okay.
yet.
We know where it's at, but we haven't looked at it. Alright, so Bridget's coat of arms is right here. Ludi sign Gaudio Ludi non stunt. I'll need to figure out what that means. So like red full. Oop! Must be 9 o'clock. Okay. Let's check out the box first, and we'll try and do something. So this one must be the top one, and it's gotta be red.
Maybe I should take another look at Brigitte's coat of arms.
Yeah? Well, it's pronounced Bridget, but okay. Yeah, look at, okay. Red full, side, half. Red, red, green, blue. Red, red, red. No, but it was like that. Wait. What there should be... Oh my goodness, there's more. What animal represents what? Okay, and then... This is gonna be something. Rabbit. Hold on, there's a whole puzzle to this thing. I gotta... Okay, wait, that's a... Give me the rabbit, the animals. Who knows about animals? War, love, messenger. Disappear, Celestine. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, we looked at her coat of arms, but
I'm finished with that.
that's not her.
Check.
Anywho's it's. let's, because it's 9 o'clock, we'll go to bed. And then we'll go back and look at stuff. We should order food though. Oh, maybe not, because it's nighttime. Let's call Hugh.
Hugh Penvillin here.
Hello, Mr. Penvillin. This is Nancy Drew. I'm the one who's visiting Linda. You know, from the United States, across the pond.
Yes, of course. Are you at Blackmoor?
Yes, I am, and I've talked to Linda.
Good for you, because frankly, that's something I've been quite unable to do lately. These temper tantrums of hers make rational discourse well nigh impossible.
How long have these tantrums been going on?
Ever since I left for Italy. We'll be talking on the phone about the weather or Jane's lessons or something equally innocuous, and suddenly she'll be bellowing at me and slamming the phone down.
There must be something that sets her off.
Everything sets her off. I promise you, these rages of hers are totally uncalled for and quite unbearable. I love her dearly, but she's making things very difficult.
Okay. That's a lot of questions. I don't know how much time he has, so let's talk about Jane.
I met your daughter, Jane.
Quite the bundle of energy, isn't she?
I get the feeling that she's a little lonely.
I'm sure she is, what with a private tutor instead of school and Linda being under the weather. And coming back to Blackmoor no doubt reminds her of her real mother. Renee and I were divorced almost 2 years ago. Jane went into a bit of a tailspin for a while, but she's come to adore Linda. She's been calling her Mummy since the day we were married.
Let's talk about Mrs. Drake.
I understand that Mrs. Drake is your aunt?
Yes, Aunt Letitia. We're not very close, however. She's always been rather aloof, much more interested in being a Penvillin than a person, if you know what I mean.
Does Linda get along with her?
As far as I know, yes, although I have caught my aunt eyeing Linda strangely at times. And of course there's the 6-month habitation clause.
The what?
According to the Penvillin rules of inheritance, the spouse of Blackmoor Manor's current owner, that would be Linda since I'm the current owner, the spouse of the current owner must reside in the manor for at least 6 months. Should she or he leave the manor before 6 months is up, ownership of 1/2 of the estate immediately passes to the next legal heir.
And that would be Mrs. Drake.
Correct.
I suspect Mrs. Drake. In these games, they make you suspect everyone, though.
Have you spent much time on your father's computer? The one that's in the library?
I dare say I've never touched it. Mathematics, computer science, linguistics, all the things that fascinated my scholarly father bored me to tears. He gave up on me quite early on. With Jane, however, it was a different story.
What do you mean?
From the day she was born, my father doted on her, far more than he ever doted on me. Read to her, bought her books, games. Truth be told, I was a bit jealous. He passed away when she was still a toddler, so it's unlikely she remembers all the attention he showered on her. But I do, and I still find it so out of character as to be mystifying.
It was nice talking to you.
This is an extremely busy time for me, so I apologize in advance if you call and I'm unavailable.
I understand.
Good. Cheerio.